This is TWiT.
So we can say the name now. Ultra. Ultra. Macworld Magazine has this scoop. Apple's Ultra roadmap confirmed. Felipe Esposito writing, iPhone, MacBook, and more on the way. They're going to call the Fold the iPhone Ultra without a number, according to Philippe, which makes sense because like the Air, this is going to be a perennial. There's also the MacBook Ultra, which is that M6 OLED we've been talking about, and that will be Ultra because it's going to be so much more expensive than the other MacBooks. And maybe there'll be other Ultras. I don't know, but it sounds like Apple. I mean, they own the trademark. They've had Ultra chips. They have an Ultra watch, so it won't be too much of a surprise, right? Did you say, Andy?
Oh, only because like I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, I was like, how many cleaning products and shaving products and other like consumer house cleaners and like
I do believe I have a Gillette
that are
Ultra.
called the Ultra, right?
You're right.
And it's like it's one of those meaningless terms you attach to something to make it sound special. And in the end, they can call it like, the history of product marketing is we will make up a word because we want to trademark something. It is meaningless. We shouldn't really fuss about it. But it's like it gets us back to where we've been for many years of okay. Does the word pro actually mean anything, or is it just a synonym for it's going to cost you, brother?
So according to the OED, Ultra was first used in 1815 by Byron, Southey, and Bentham from the French politics ultra-royaliste, extreme royalist, of course it has a Latin origin. And OED says in very common and steadily increasing use from about 1830. So it is not a new word. Ultraviolet, right?
Dawn Ultra is a hell of a cleaner, and I'm not even joking about it.
Dawn Ultra,
anything you're trying to clean, Dawn Ultra on the r/cleaning subreddit, every solution is Dawn Ultra.
Yeah, he's pretty good, but he's very busy these days. Dawn Ultra.
Ultra is a Latin adverb
Spanish
and
nobleman.
preposition
Dawn Ultra.
that means beyond, on the other side, on the far side, past, over, and across. So,
I mean, look, there's a long tradition of us hearing Apple product name tags and being like, I don't know. And then you know what? They use them and they market them and they make it clear, and then everybody gets used to them, and they can mean like, because pro doesn't mean what it literally professional, right? Like there's an Apple Watch, Ultra, right? We've got that now. We've got all sorts of pro. There's a phone pro. How is it a professional phone? And the fact is, like, that's not what it means. It means something, but it's got a very specific kind of like tag.
It means money
in Apple's universe. Exactly right. And we all get over it. So like, I think an UGG today is perfectly reasonable, knowing that, 6 months or 6 weeks or 6 days after it gets announced, we'll all just shrug and be like, yeah, of course.
Of course. And Esposito says in Macworld, there'll probably be an iPad Ultra and a AirPods Ultra as well. There might be a whole luxury line.
I mean, maybe.
A leather-covered line of Apple stuff.
I like the idea because I think Apple, I don't mind the idea that Apple pushes, like with the iPhone 10, pushes the cutting edge and releases a product. Like if Apple is going to be restrained and has some features that they're like, we can't do that this year because it's going to be too expensive. I actually kind of don't mind if they have the ability to put that out at a higher end while also making all their other products available. I'm kind of okay with that. The idea that it gives them an out, a place where they can experiment with brand new stuff that will come down over time, but it gives it, because the alternative is they just don't release that product. And I don't like that.
No, I don't like that either. I will go back to the name for a second. The only thing I kind of take umbrage with a little bit, because you're exactly right, Jason. We will get used to the name.
Umbrage,
as
from the Latin for shadow.
but it's but how is this going to be? Are we going to have a MacBook Ultra, M6 Max, whatever? Like this is where the naming becomes clunky, because we've added all these suffixes to the chip names and to the other things. And you're right, like MacBook Pro is ceased to have any sort of meaning, right? Because you have the 14-inch MacBook Pro, you've got like the base model, and then you've got the one that actually is the good one, and then you have like the Max chip versions and whatnot. And so that's where I do like roll my eyes a little bit, because I'm like, okay, we're now adding all these, various, like things to the name, and it doesn't roll off the tongue easily. But we will get used to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I agree with you 100%, Jason. Like, I feel as though it'll legitimize itself if it means that, no, this isn't the same unit, but with more storage and more memory and a better camera. This is a almost completely revisualized. Like, it would be prohibitive for us to make this at scale. We can only probably make a couple of million of these max, but we are going to make the maximal version of the iPhone, the maximal version of the iPad, the maximal version of an Apple Watch, and we will call it the Ultra. We're not expecting this to be a reasonable purchase for most people. Again, it'll just be, if it does become like the Pro, that will kind of bore me. I'm kind of more interested in the idea of in the iPad line using the Neo tag as, here is the one where we are going to expect you to be, we are making something, we're maximizing economy, and this is targeted at people that are willing to forego the ultraness of this device in order to be able to afford this thing, because the iPad absolutely needs some pruning and house cleaning. Because I have to remind myself, wait, is the iPad nothing the intro one, or is it the iPad Air because Air is smaller? Or I mean, that would be a line where adding Neo to the end of, here is the $329 iPad works great. It's not going to be a replacement for your main device, but you can buy one for each of your kids, and they can have your own private experience, and it's built to the spec of an Apple quality product. So I would love to see an infestation of Neo. I'd love to see the Apple Watch Neo, for instance, the AirPods Neo. So when you walk into the store that I don't really have $300. Just, I don't know how much the really, really good AirPods are. But I know that I don't have that kind of need for it. Show me the Neo first, and if that doesn't work, then I'll consider an upgrade.
The iPod is also, the iPad, not the iPod. The iPad is a good example of, even though it's called the iPad Pro, what I'm talking about like having the Ultra line is like the iPad Pro. And we've talked about it here. It costs a lot of money, but it's got that tandem OLED display, and like it has so much amazing tech in it that, most people probably don't need if they're buying an iPad. iPad Air is a better fit probably than the Pro, but I'm glad the Pro exists, right. And people buy it because they want the very best of of whatever iPad they happen to be buying. But I like the idea of getting these product names. Like, they're never going to be perfect. People who write about this and talk about it like us are always obsessed with sort of getting everything in a perfect line where every product lines up and all makes sense. And like they don't release all the products at once. It's always in flux. It's always a little bit of a mess. But I do like the idea of maybe saying, these adjective-less, tag-less product names are a little confusing. It's like, if they had called the MacBook Neo the MacBook, we would have been like a MacBook. Well, no, not the MacBook, just a MacBook, like the MacBook or the MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air. And instead we can say a MacBook like the Neo or the Pro or the Air, and it's clearer. I kind of like that better. Maybe they need to get those tags on everything. I think that might be a better thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true. I think at this point, I think that originally, like when the first MacBook, going back to 2006, that fit exactly where it needed to be. And then I think that the first kind of original sin was the 2015 MacBook, reintroducing that name when it was a different class of product, right? And kind of repurposing the Air into what had been the MacBook role. And so, yeah, I'm with you. I think that if you're going to go down that kind of sequential line, that's kind of how I feel about the Pro lineup with the MacBook Pro right now, where it's like, okay, it gets a little bit confusing. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind. Look, as long as, and I'm even okay with them having like super high end or very expensive, machines that are not set to appeal to the mass populace. What I do hope, and I'm not overly concerned about this, especially not on the phone at first, the laptop maybe a little bit, is that it won't become an excuse for Apple to try to, push up, average selling price and not bringing things back down, over time and trickling down like that. That's the only thing I don't want to see, is to be like, oh, we used to have these features. Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed this little clip from MacBreak Weekly. If you want to see the whole show, just click down below. And of course, we're at MacBreak Weekly on YouTube. You'll also find full shows, audio and video at twit.tv/MBW and wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for watching.